Notice of this regular meeting has been provided to the public by written notice dated May 17, 2014. The meeting notice has been posted on bulletin boards located inside the school buildings and at the Board of Education building, communicated to at least one of the board's designated newspapers, filed with the Borough Clerk of Palisades Park. Roll call.
John Maxich.
Here.
Jeffrey Wu.
Here.
Marie Alvarez. Here. George Beck.
Here.
Andrew
Here.
Angela Burns. Here. Howard Donovan.
Here.
Walter.
Here.
James Green.
Here.
Cirillo.
Here.
Kevin Tenero. Here. Richard Barbeau.
I just have one. I received a certified letter from Ms. Amanda DeLulo, who's wishing to video this meeting, but also on the letter she states that future meetings, she wants to video future meetings. If you do so, please, or anyone else, if you do, please send notification ahead of time for every meeting that you wish to video or tape. So I don't know who this Ms. DeLulo is. So I got your letter, but legally I was just told to give you that information. Anybody that wishes to do that must send in a letter prior to the meeting. Thank you. Minute approval for October 15 regular meeting and November 19, 2014 regular meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any questions, discussion? Roll call.
John Madison.
Yes.
Jeffrey Wu.
Yes.
Marie Alvarez.
Yes, on number 19, on November 19th, I was not present October 15th.
George Beck.
Yes, for October. I was not present for November.
Andrew
Yes.
Angela Burns.
Yes.
Howard Donovan.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
James Green.
Yes.
Report of the superintendent.
I have a few things. I'll start by wishing you all a happy and healthy 2015. I know we got back up and running on January 5th. There's been a ton of work going on throughout our schools. Witnessed even today, unannounced visit by the New Jersey Department of Education, Office of Homeland Protection, and the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office. It was all best practices. They are turnkeying some of the better things that they witnessed throughout the state of New Jersey in public education. There were areas that we obviously need to rectify, and that was the whole purpose of it. I wish you would have had more notice. I wish we would have had more notice. It is what it is. Sometimes these things happen. I'm grateful that we had the opportunity to take part in it, and we will move forward to change whatever needs to be changed in conjunction with the police department. On Friday, we had a very busy day. I know Ms. Alvarez will speak to it a little bit, but we also had 40 educators from South Korea come to Palisades Park High School. We constantly welcome people from throughout the state, the country, and obviously the world. Alumni Night on January 8th, I thought was a tremendous success for anyone that was there or anyone that was in conversation with any of the former high school students. I wish the attendance of current students was greater, but it's still a move in the right direction for us as a district. And I will tell you, on the 26th of January, we are having a Park/Common Core information session for parents and guardians. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cirillo. Report of the committees. Finance, Mr. Donovan.
Yes, Mr. President, in front of you, you have 11 resolutions on the finance. I move that the board approve all of them.
Someone second it?
I'll second.
Any questions, discussions on the finance motions? Roll call, please.
John Madison.
Yes.
Jeffrey Wu.
Yes.
Maria Alvarez.
Yes.
George Beck.
Yes.
Ed Bruno.
Yes.
Angela Burns.
Yes.
Howard Donovan.
Yes.
Will Kip.
Yes.
James Green.
Yes.
Buildings and grounds, Mr. Ring.
Under buildings and grounds, there are 2 resolutions. I make a motion the board approve.
Second.
Angie Burns, second. Discussion. Roll call.
John Madisich.
Yes.
Jeffrey Wu.
Yes.
Mary Alvarez.
Yes.
George Peck.
Yes.
Ed Bruno.
Yes.
Angela Burns.
Yes.
Howard Donovan.
Yes.
Paul Kip.
Yes.
James Ring.
Yes.
Personnel, Mr. Wu.
Before you, there are 12 resolutions in the personnel committee report. I make a motion that we approve all 12.
Deputy Moran.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
John Madisich.
Yes.
Jeffrey Wu.
Yes.
Marie Alvarez.
Yes.
George Peck.
Yes.
Ed Bruno.
Yes.
Angela Burns.
Yes.
Howard Donovan.
Yes.
Paul Kip.
Yes.
James Ring.
Yes.
Curriculum, Mr. Wu. I'm sorry, Mr. Beck.
No report this time.
No report. Negotiation, Mr. Bruno.
On January 5th, myself, John Madison, and Jeffrey Wu, the negotiations committee, met with two of the teachers in an informal discussion, which we kind of got the points across where we were, the differences where we were at, and it seemed like a pretty decent meeting. On the 12th, we had a meeting with the fact finder, Jerry, and I can't remember his last name. Mastrino. Our board attorney went in for emergency surgery just that day for spinal cord. So, but we still continued the meeting. Thought that, you know, it was going to go along pretty well. Then we were informed by Jerry that the teachers as well as NJAE wanted to pursue with formal fact-finding, and I think it's set for February 4th at 4 p.m.
With a potential make-up date of the 24th.
Right. All right, so that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Bruno. Policy, Ms. Alvarez.
Gentlemen, you have two resolutions. I move
I second that.
Any discussion on the policies? Roll call, please.
John Madisich.
Yes.
Jeffrey Wu.
Yes.
Marie Alvarez.
yes.
Yes.
Ed Bruno.
Yes.
Angela Burns. Yes. Howard Donovan.
Yes.
Paul Kip.
Yes.
James Ring.
Yes.
PTA, PTSA, student activities, Maria Alvarez.
Okay, PTSA is getting ready for March 21st for the Harlem Magic Masters at the high school. That's a fundraiser for project graduation. And the play is scheduled for March 27th and 28th, and the PTSA will be donating to the play coordinators and iPads to be raffled. The PTA is announcing the Greenberg 6th and 7th grade dance is scheduled for March 27th. And the book fair is the week of April 20th with literacy night on April 23rd. As far as students' activities, last Friday, January 16th, Mr. Michael Wiles from the law firm of Wiles and Weinberg came and lectured at PTHS about immigration law, and I was there, and it was very exciting. Some kids were very interested in the whole topic. In attendance was the senior class, the ESL students, and the AP Gov. And afterwards, we got very good positive feedback from the whole experience. So thank you, Dr. Cirillo, for helping me with that.
Thank you, Ms. Alvarez. Calendar and food service.
Sorry, Angela wanted something.
Yes, I would like to tell you that on January 14th, I attended the dedication in memory of the two plaques in memory of Diane Dumont and Rose Bell. It was a beautiful, beautiful dedication. A lot of the teachers spoke highly of them, how much they loved them, and how much dedication these two women gave to the children that were entrusted in their care. They were truly loved. If anyone would like to see the plaques, they're posted on the wall outside of the main office. They're beautiful. And the artwork that was done by the art teacher here at ECC, Ms. Foss. She did a beautiful job. Great.
Calendar Food Service, Ms. Burns.
Excuse me?
Calendar for food service. Any
No, not at
report?
this time.
Thank you. NJSBA liaison.
Nothing to report, sir.
Old business. Any member for old business? New business, our next regular meeting will be February 25th, 2015, and the school board election this year is going to be April 21, 2015. I'm going to open up the audience participation. I appreciate if anyone that wishes to speak, try to talk to 5 minutes, no more than that, please. Give other teachers a chance to say what they wish to say. For 5 minutes. They cough twice.
Please just state your name and so.
Dale Santoro. I just want to clarify something that Mr. Bruno said. It's the NJA along with the state-appointed fact finder that decides, and along with the board. So it's not just the NJA that decides that we go to a fact-finding mediation. The fact finder has to make that decision because we had 3 mediation sessions prior to the fact-finding hearing that we're going to have on February 4th.
No, we were not told
Just
that.
in rebuttal, that's not what we were told. When Jerry came back into the room after speaking to you guys, we were looking to see if there was any, negotiation. He said that NJAE, as well as the teachers, NJEA, and the teachers wanted to go to formal fact finding. He asked us, what do you feel? I said, personally, I'd rather negotiate face-to-face with people. I think we accomplish more. Mr. Matisich, I believe, and Mr. Wu, who were in attendance, I think felt the same way.
But the only person that can ultimately make the decision of us going to a fact-finding hearing is Jerry Restrano, the state-appointed fact finder.
Okay, but again,
That is the only person that can make that decision for
But
us.
when he came in to tell us what your position was,
Our position is we would like to go to fact-finding
Right,
hearings,
that's what
but
I'm
he
saying,
is the
but
only
that's-
person that can
Right,
make
right.
that decision.
but since we, I guess, said we'd rather negotiate face-to-face
But
with the
I
team,
just want to clarify, it was
Yeah.
just not the NJEA or the teachers that said that.
It was not us.
It was also the fact finder though as well.
It was the fact finder, maybe in yourself, but
Yeah.
for us, we'd rather negotiate face-to-face with the teachers.
We have done that for some time now.
Anybody else? Yes. State your name, please.
Michelle Martini. Good evening. My name is Michelle Martini, and I'm a 6th grade language arts teacher at Lindbergh School. I stand before you imploringly asking you to settle our contracts. For the past 7 years, I have worked in district, yet I still only make $46,827. Since 2012, I have been making $93.73 less per week. In order to make ends meet, I teach in the after-school program, family math, NJS prep classes, as well as the summer school program. In addition to serving on various committees such as curriculum, family literacy night, and volunteering through the Fish Committee. I also chaperone school concerts, dances, and other events throughout the school year. 4 months ago, I gave birth to a healthy baby boy. Being home on maternity leave provided time for me to reflect on the reasons of life. Most importantly, I started thinking about raising my son in this day and age, along with the lessons and values I need to instill in him. I'm sure most of you can relate, whether it's your own child, grandchild, niece, nephew, cousin, or friend. I want him to revere teachers with the utmost respect and to stand up for what he believes in, to fight for what is fair, which is what compelled me to speak tonight. Teaching is a complex job because there is no clock where we check in and out. Grading papers, lesson planning, decorating the classroom, phone calls, and meeting with parents outside of class time are all parts of the job that occur off the clock from 8 to 3. Surprisingly, in comparable occupations, teachers make an average of $200 less a week. As anyone will attest, we did not get into education for the money. We chose to follow our hearts and choose a profession where we can make a difference. I know I'm not alone when I say I spend 2 unpaid weeks every summer coming in and setting up my classroom for September. Nor am I alone when I say I've spent hundreds of dollars of my hard-earned money buying supplies for my classroom and for my students. Since the 2010-2012 contract, the Palisades Park School District has experienced a 16% turnover. Friends in other neighboring districts have asked me why I stay. I stay because I love this community. I stay because I love Lindbergh School. I stay because I love my colleagues. Most importantly, I stay because I love my students and job. The task of an educator is a heavy, complex, and almost superhuman role, and I want nothing more than to do it justice for the sake of the children. Because after all, isn't what this is all about? And this is why I am insisting on a written contract. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ring, state your name, please.
Frank Rain, Andrew. That's gonna be a tough act to follow. All right. So, let me just start with this. Who said this on the board? Happy teachers make happy students. Miss Angela Burns, right? Remember, she came to the high school. She probably went to all the schools and told us that. And that was great. We had a special meeting at the high school. But I'm here to tell you. Call her in, she's my cousin. We're not very happy. It's been a tough year and a half. I've been in Palisades Park my whole life, Michelle. I was born and raised in Palisades Park. I'm a graduate of Palisades Park High School. I ran a business in Palisades Park from the age of 19 until I began teaching at the age of 35. I've never left the borough. I would live here, I just couldn't afford a house here when it was time to buy a house.
So true.
I've always taken pride in being from Palisades Park. It's been a thrill to have the opportunity to teach the students of Palisades Park and to pass along some of the school's history. The high school was only 7 years old when I started as a 7th grader in 1975, giving away my age. My wife used to tell me, or she used to tell people, I was the only person she knew who loved his job. And that was true. Unfortunately, in the last year and a half, it's been really tough to love this job. And it's become a job. J-O-B. Stands for just above broke. And I'm here to say this, Dr. Cirillo, if you've lost me, in a sense, you've lost most of the staff as far as how we feel about this whole contract situation. My last paycheck was $208 less than I made 2.5 years ago. If this continues, that's over $4,000 this year out of my pocket. In that same period of time, I went back to school. I got my master's degree. Now, in educational technology, now I'm $27,000 in debt on top of losing out on $4,000 this year. Imagine that, getting a master's degree in order to become a better teacher is the worst financial decision I've made in my life. Only in Palisades Park can getting more of an education be a bad thing. This is my 16th year teaching in Palisades Park. I'm currently on step 11. When I started here, there were only 13 steps on the guy. I'm still 5 steps from the top. I mean, it's just really difficult in this district. How much longer can I continue working here? I keep asking myself that at the end of every month when the bills are due. In my 16 years here, the budget has passed overwhelmingly every year. Year after year, budget passes, and every contract negotiation, we hear the same thing from the board. There's no money because we can't pay teachers. We look around the community, and we see construction everywhere. Buildings, high-rises, duplexes, municipal housing units, multiple housing units. My father sold his house, 2-family home. Right now on there, there's 4 units. That's 4 times the taxes from that one piece of property. This is going on all over the town, and yet you still tell us there's no money to pay for an increase. And we're just looking for a fair increase. We're not this time, honestly, with the work that we do, with the test scores being up, I think we deserve a favorable increase, not just a fair increase. Okay, I'd like to read this, so I'll be quick. The record, September 14th, listed all median home prices. We are number 18th in Bergen County out of 68 counties. Ridgewood, prestigious Ridgewood, is 14th. Ridgewood, Al Park, okay, but our teaching salary is only right above Fairview, which is down here on that same list. How is that possible? Our home price is 2.5 times what Fairview is, and we just make just above what they make. So there's a real disconnect in what's going on with the finances in this town and what you're paying us. We didn't come into teaching to get rich, as Michelle said, but I didn't come in here to be broke either. Okay, here. Okay, so there's something really wrong in Palisades Park. At a time when we should easily get a favorable raise, you insist you have no money. Something bigger is going on in this district that really has nothing to do with money. and it has nothing to do with education. There's some other overriding factor that seems to be preventing a good contract from coming out of the situation. At the very least, have enough respect for us to make this a fair process. And I don't think it's really a fair process. Look at this room here. We have 180 members in our association, but there's only about 70 teachers here. That's 110. Their financial future's on the line here, but they don't show up. And I asked them, why don't you come to the meetings? And they say the same thing time after time. They say, we don't feel it does anything. We could have the best scores in Bergen County, and our board is stuck on a number. We can have the worst scores in Bergen County, and our board is stuck on this number here. So there's a mass indifference within the school district, in the sense that we look around, how you doing today? Oh, putting in my time, putting in my time. That's not the place I signed up for 16 years ago. Okay, I signed up here to make a difference, but wait, it's really getting difficult to do that. So anyway, I have this line. Dr. Sewell, I hope in your doctoral work they taught a course in meeting indifference in different people, because Amazon.com has no book on meeting indifference. It's really tough to get by that. Businesses, they go out of business with indifferent employees. So something needs to change here, and pretty quickly before things really take a turn. So we have great test scores, and it just doesn't matter. We feel the game is rigged. People I talk to tell me that all the time. Building after building is going up, and it doesn't matter. We feel the game is rigged. House prices are at an all-time high, and the game seems to be rigged here. I mean, you're all reasonable people. I can't believe a year and a half that we're still stuck on such a low number from what our side tells us. All right.
Frank, can you finish that up, please?
Maybe a while. Tip O'Neill, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, said all politics is local. And we know that. At the national level, there are special interests, and if they donate enough money, they get ambassadorship. On the state level, there are special interests. If they donate enough money, they have access to the governor. And if they don't endorse the governor, they get a traffic jam like they get at Fort Lee. Locally, Palisades Park has its own special interests. We all know that. And it's really the invisible hand that guides all political decisions. I get it. The board seems to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's how I feel this whole thing is going. This past November, one of our teachers, Linda Kim, she resigned and took a similar position in the aforementioned Ridgewood. Linda was in her 11th year. She was on step 5 of the contract. It's outrageous that you can't move up on this guy here because not enough money is ever put into it. Ridgewood gave her what she was. She gave her step 11 based on her experience. That was almost a $20,000 increase she got. $20,000 doing the same job that we had her doing. In the past decade, this board has brought out the sick time for over 30 of our most experienced teachers. You paid them $30,000, I'm sorry, you paid them $20,000 a year over 3 years not to teach. And yet you still tell us there's no money for us to actually do the teaching. It just doesn't make sense here. Ridgewood pays their teachers to teach. Palisades Park pays their teachers not to teach. That's outrageous. Okay, the past head of the math department, Judy Sloan. I asked her, Judy, why are you retiring? You have so much to give. And if you've ever seen Judy teach, she was unbelievable. Her reply was really simple, and her reply stunned me. She said, Frank, they're paying me $20,000 not to teach. If I stay and teach, I only get a $2,000 raise. So over 3 years, $60,000 not to teach, only an extra $6,000 to teach. Everybody would take that deal. It's just outrageous. You're not paying the teachers to actually do the job. All right. In all past contracts, you claim you don't have money, yet you've always found it for someone who's leaving the district. If you did it to save money, if you gave all those teachers money because it was saving the district money somehow, then where is that saving? Why is it not even passed along to us over here that are actually doing the job? At an earlier meeting, Mr. Bob was here. He gave a nice slideshow presentation. Test scores are up in all categories. Year after year, our students perform at a high level. In the past, whether individual board members have spoken at our graduation ceremonies, Mr. Donovan, you spoke at Harry F. Bureau's retirement. You've always had good words to say about Palisades Park. I'm a member of the action team. The woman from the NGA came in and said, you know, how's your relationship with the board? And every one of us at the table said, it's great, they're really nice people. There wasn't a bad word that anybody could say. So we have a really nice board, reasonable people, and I find it hard to believe that we can't get a contract settled. All right, that's unbelievable. So money really, it can't be an issue when you look at what's going on in town with all the buildings. It can't be performance because you tell us we do a great job, and our test scores show it. Okay, we should have been given a favorable raise based on all this stuff. So I ask you, what's really going on here? How can you offer such a low pay raise that we would have to devalue our guys? We're not making enough money to begin with, and now we have to even take less of an increase? That's just, I don't know. I'm not hate it. All right. I asked my dad, and we talk very little about town business, about what's going on, honestly. But I asked him, did you have the opportunity to even have some input into what our raise would be? It's a reasonable question. He's on the Board of Education. He told me no. I said, wait, you were here 18 years, the senior member of the Board of Education, represents the town. How can you not have any input into it? And I'm not saying you have to go with what he says, but no input. And I'm sure if he had no input, I'm sure most of you had no input into what you're offering us. It just doesn't make sense. We have a $20 million enterprise here. And how can the biggest financial decision, the employees' salaries, not even be discussed among all of the board members? At the very least, have enough respect for us to make this a fair process. And I get it, you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. But if you want to break this indifference in the district, you need the whole board to get engaged in this. To get there, we need a Board of Education, the same board that compliments us time after time on the great job we do. We need that board to do its job and elect all, and represent all of the people in Palisades Park. There's 20,000 citizens and students. Okay? You need to represent them and not just the special interest in Palisades Park. Have enough respect for us again to make this a fair process. A process where all the board members meet without the special interest, without the superintendent, and without the lawyers, just the community members, you guys. Okay? My feeling is, had you met as a community elected organization, just the members, you met a year and a half ago, and honestly discussed an increase in our salary based on our performance, I think we wouldn't be here right now. I think we would all really be really motivated in this job instead of this feeling of indifference. Anyway, if that happened, at least I would feel this isn't a rigged game. And please have enough respect of us to make this a fair process. Okay, not what it seems to be and what it seems to be always here. Okay? So, in the end, I borrowed this from Bayonne. How can you claim to put students first when you continue to put teachers last? Thank you.
Anybody else? Please try to keep it to minimum. State your name, please.
After those two speeches, mine's rather short. I'm quite embarrassed to speak, but I'll speak anyway. My name is Michael Carisi. I'm a math teacher at the high school. I've worked in the district for 4 years. I'm on step 2, and I also have my master's, which is the studying program at Frank. And I went there to better myself as a teacher. I'm not getting paid for my master's. I use my master's every day. It's a very practical program, but unfortunately, I'm not getting paid for it. I am a caring individual. My colleagues and I deserve a fair and reasonable contract. Not having a contract has made it necessary for me and many other of my colleagues to have a second job. For myself, I teach at a community college part-time in the evenings, which is why I'm not able to come to the board meetings at night because I have to work a second job. By not having a contract puts the district in a lower standing and also at a disadvantage in terms of teacher selection and retention of current teachers because other districts will pay more. having a fair contract will allow this district to focus on our efforts on education instead of this endless negotiation that we're going through now. Thank you.
I've worked here in Palisades Park for the past 9 years, and I must say I'm absolutely fortunate for the friendships I have made and the many wonderful students that I have guided and worked with. This is truly the most rewarding part of my job and the real reason I came in here. I'm also extremely fortunate for all that I have accomplished during my 9 years employed here. I consider myself a successful, educated young woman that has completed a master's in special education and just recently received my supervision certification from Palisades College. In addition, I was also able to purchase a home within a close proximity to Palisades Park. All of these accomplishments I was able to achieve during my 20s. But I'm not here standing in front of you to brag, but to ask that you consider a fair contract. As I am sure all of you know, the cost of living increases year after year, taxes increase, utilities and general homeowner bills increase, and of course the many other issues that tend to pop up with the luxury of owning a home. Unfortunately, with all of these increases I am currently faced with, I am faced with a decrease in my paycheck. I'm sure many people outside of the education field feel that our days end at 3 and our summer vacations start in June. And this is far from the truth. For a large majority of my work week, I'm working until 6:30, and my summers are spent working in a summer school program and another out-of-district job. As for the school year, I also participate in many extracurricular activities, such as the assistant volleyball coach, curriculum committee, literacy night, family math, and the list goes on and on. I hustle in order to make ends meet. Hustling should not be a part of my vocabulary, because as my base salary should be able to cover most of the monthly expenses. But unfortunately, this is not the case. I stand here this evening insisting that you settle in the very near future on a fair and reasonable.
My name is Allison Knapp, and I'm a 6th grade math teacher. I'm in my 9th year teaching in the district. I've taught basic skills for 2 years and have been teaching 6th grade math for the past 6 years. I have a Master of Arts in Teaching, and I'm on step 2 of the guide because of the several pay freezes in the last 6 years and the restructuring of our pay scale that subtracted 2 steps from each teacher. After 8 years, I make $49,040 a year. That's compared to officers on our local police force who've been on the job since 2008 who make $115,676 a year. Though the teachers and police have different contracts, both are paid by the same taxpayers. During my time in this district, I've taught Homework Club, NJS prep courses in both math and language arts, been a part of the Include grant, taught Include after-school classes. As part of the grant, I had numerous people from the state come in to observe my classes. I had videos of my teaching uploaded not only to the district website, but also to the state website as an example of best practice. I was also invited to present at a summer conference for the New Jersey Coalition for Inclusive Education, a conference where a colleague and I did a presentation on co-teaching and use of math centers.